Let's go. Welcome to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It is Week 11. The Detroit Lions take on the New York Giants. They visit to MetLife. I am your host, Jeff Iafrate, joining me alongside Booner Sports, and in the chair, as always, Tom Mazawey from Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. How you doing, Maz?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Love NFL Sundays.
Oh, I do, too.
We got Stick in the house today, too.
And we got Stick in the booth. Thanks, shout out to Stick, by the way, for hooking us up. We got a star-packed show today and a lot to cover. The 7-2 New York Giants take on the 3-6 Detroit Lions, and there's still a little slither of playoff hopes, at least among many Lions fans. But a lot to get into today. The Lions lead all-time series against the Giants 24-21, including one tie.
That's a rarity, guys, right there.
It is a rarity.
The Lions, when you go to all-time series, they don't really lead any all-time series, but I was surprised to see that they're leading the G-Men by 3.
Me too, including the last 2 wins in 2019 and 2017. I was at the one in 2019. I believe Daniel had 4 touchdown passes. That's when Stafford, he came down. They won the game for us. So what a game. I was there in person. Josh Reynolds, Josh Pascal, and Charles Harris are out today for the Detroit Lions. We will go through the injury report later in the first hour of the show.
I think we got the best comment of the WoodwardSports.com chat already, though. From Gas, if the Lions win today, I will drink a cup of my own urine.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow, that's
crazy.
That's conviction. Like, listen, and we'll get into it.
The question is why? Why, Gash? Why?
Why not, Matt?
Would be by the way, DJ Chark activated.
Yes.
Will play today.
He will.
Huge.
Coming off IR, had ankle surgery in the offseason, played a little bit in the beginning of the season, went back on IR, still dealing with some ankle issues. He will be back for the Detroit Lions. Just to sprinkle in here as well, Daniel Jones for the New York Giants, someone who we've had conversations about. I mean, the whole conversation about is Daniel a good quarterback or not. We've had a lot of people in this company disagree with that statement. I've never hated Daniel. With good coaching, it can get the best out of players. And Daniel Jones, I'll just read this stat, has the longest active streak of passing attempts without an interception, 145.
Yeah, I think he's just a solid quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he's kind of like you could say it in terms of dual threat, right? Like, I saw a stat where he's 4th in the NFL, or 4th or 5th in quarterback rushing yards. Like, he does it all.
And completion percentage, he's right there with Geno Smith.
Yeah, and I think just because he's on the Giants that people really kind of look down on him, and he struggled his first couple years in the NFL. Now you see he has a coaching staff. He has some guy. He doesn't even have a receiving core around him, and he's still 7-2 with the healthy Saquon and not a great receiving core there. So.
You hit it on the button now there, Boone. He's got Brian Daboll and that Giants coaching staff. Finally, a team behind him, someone that can lead this guy, someone that is going to. Brian Daboll is just going to his players, and he's just making them the best thing that they can do. That's the way he's doing his offense. Mm-hmm. If this guy could run the ball, throw short passes, intermediate passes, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to put him in a situation where he can't do those things and look bad. That's what you got to do with these players, and that makes it. That's different between a good coach and just an average coach.
Yeah, no question. I mean, on top of that, having Saquon Barkley the best running back right now this year, it definitely helps. But on top of that, and this is why coaching matters, right? We talk about Daniel, him looking really night and day compared to the last 2 seasons with Joe Judge. It really is something special for Daniel. I mean, this year, the Giants, and I'll just give this stat, the last time the Giants started 7-2 was the year 2000. And again, with the Giants, whenever they start 7-2, and I'm not foreshadowing anything. Usually, it's led to, playoff success.
Sure.
Not sure, but with this current Giants team, they've had 8 one-score games this year, 7 wins in those 8 one-score games, and that's coaching, guys. Figuring out, being good at situational football. Daniel taking care of the football, and again, you can also bring this up, and I think this is probably the one knock against the Giants is 5 of the Giants' 7 wins come against teams below 500. Now they face another team in the Detroit Lions this week.
You said it perfectly there. Is like these close games, they have found ways to win. That's something that like the Lions we've been trying to do.
Yeah.
Is
got their last 2.
Yeah, and they've done it the last 2, and they're starting to get it now. But like to start the year, it's like, can Dan Campbell win these close games and get over that edge there? they've done it in New York all year. Like we saw in the first couple of weeks when Dable went to his defense and he was like, "Hey, can we go for it here, or do you want to kick a field goal?"
That was great.
Do you trust us?
Yeah.
And that's like what you want to see, like in an organization to grow. I think what he's done there is incredible, to be honest. 7-2 here. Saquon Barkley is looking like his best of his career right now.
Comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yep.
I think he's right there. Him, Geno Smith, there'll be a good
Jeff
battle.
Okudah in that mix.
Okay, that's stick from left field again. Well, he's got time, by the way.
You don't think Jeff Okudah's up for comeback player of the year?
I think there's potential for it, to be honest. Yeah.
Not against those two guys so far.
He's put himself in the conversation, though. I'm okay with that.
And
He is.
really, on top of that, you could make an argument that this is the worst wide receiver core the Lions secondary has faced all year. They faced really multiple playoff teams. The Lions' schedule so far has been tough. Now looking back at it. But with this this Giants current wide receiver core, it consists of, it had Shepard, went down with an injury. They signed Galladay it was probably, now looking back, it's probably the worst contract probably ever given.
You're probably
he's getting
right.
paid $17 million. He had one big drop last week, was benched the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And this week, really, you have Slayton, their second leading receiver, Saquon Barkley.
Amazing.
So talk about Jeff Okudah's stick. This is an opportunity for that secondary, Kirby, Jeff, Mike Hughes, these guys to at least step up and be able to make some plays this week. But I want to run through some stats before we get into it, because next segment we're going to be talking about specifically the defense, talking about some quotes from Aaron Glenn. But I wrote down some interesting stats for this Giants defense, or excuse me, their offense. Yards per game. The Detroit Lions are 6th currently in the NFL. The New York Giants are 25th. So, again, you look at their season total, their highest point total comes against the Packers. They scored 27. Every other game, they've scored below 27. And it was in London as well. So, with this Giants team, it's not like their offense is this high-flying offense. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL in big plays, but they still find ways to win. And that says a lot about their defense and that guy up front, Dexter Lawrence. He's a beast.
No doubt about it, man. They're starting to show out, and this is going to be a tough game for the Giants. Matter of fact, we said it before the show started. Are they looking ahead to Thanksgiving Day? They play the Cowboys.
That's my biggest question of the
big
day.
battle there, to try to chase down the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll see if that's the case. I don't think it is. Don't forget the Lions. They're the kings of Thanksgiving, right? It's their day. They don't really win on Thanksgiving, but it is their day. But there's a company downtown today. A team that's going to be here for Thanksgiving as well, and that's the Buffalo Bills. They get back-to-back home games at Ford Field, so we can talk about that a little bit later on as well.
Bills fans are already crowding down Ford Field. I mean,
we saw some videos.
I'll be heading down. It is unreal. It really is. And we talk about Thanksgiving, kind of looking ahead. The Giants. I mean, the Lions have an opportunity this week to win 3 in a row.
That's right.
3 in a row and back-to-back road wins, which, again, this was the biggest criticism of Dan Campbell. When are you going to get that monkey off your back, right? They beat the Chicago Bears last week, and, Chicago Bears, to be honest with you, it would be much, much bigger to go into MetLife and beat a team like the New York Giants with really, I would say, the coach of the year, in my opinion, in Brian Dable.
Yeah. How do you look past them?
Especially when
Pete Carroll's up there, too.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a good point. It's probably a 2-man race between those two guys. But
and
Nick
Dan
Sirianni,
Campbell.
if you want to throw him in there.
And got to throw Dan Campbell.
But really, they do have an opportunity this week. And the Giants...
Stick's been up since, way early in the morning, by the way.
Listen,
I
had a bachelor party last night. Yeah. I did not get home till 5 in the morning.
So if he's babbling, we apologize.
No, Dan Campbell, coach of the year.
Listen, he certainly I guess the narrative around Dan Campbell has a chance this week. If you go beat the Giants, it definitely helps his case a whole lot. I mean, we talk about this Giants team.
That's his old team.
Well, yes, it is. He did play for the Giants. I believe was on the Super Bowl roster when they went to the Super Bowl and won that Super Bowl. And Dan Campbell, obviously, Brian Dable and Dan get compared to a lot. Adam Baydoun, me and him on the morning show talk about it. What he's done in year 1 with the Giants, being 7-2, having an impressive year so far. But it doesn't really cover up the holes they do have on their team. I mean, the Giants' rushing yards allowed per game. This is the most interesting stat because the Lions are pretty much last in the league in really all defensive statistics. I mean, rushing yards allowed per game, Detroit is 31st. They give up 160.9 yards per game. The New York Giants are 24th. They gave up 133. So, again, this is a team that's prone to giving up yards on the ground. And if we know anything about this Lions team, Booner, they got some guys up front, those big uglies that can move guys away.
In the ground games, what we've seen gets them going. Like when Jamal Williams is going and DeAndre Swift, when he's healthy and he's full, that's what gets our offense rolling. That's what opens up Amon-Ra. That's what opens up all these different guys on offense, especially now with DJ Chark back. The run game is going to be huge today, especially that offensive line that we have here. I think we have to take advantage of it. But I'm with you on that as well. I'm not with Stick on the Dan Campbell head coach of the year, though. But I was trying to pull up the odds here, and I could not find it. They don't even have it.
They don't even have it.
I don't even think they have that up right now for him.
He's also eligible, they call that. He could bet the field. He's part of the field.
Yeah, no doubt. No question. Before we go to break, how big of a game is this, really, for this Lions defense? Because they've given up 400 yards a game the last 2 games. They gave up 400 to Chicago. They gave up 400 to the Packers. The Packers game, they only scored 9, but if you watch the game, they were moving up and down the field. You watch Chicago, they couldn't contain Justin Fields. Now they got an opportunity this week with a quarterback like Daniel Jones, who isn't as elusive or as fast as Fields. But don't sleep on Daniel Jones, Maz. You know a lot about him. And he can create, especially on 3rd and long, he can extend it and get that first down for you.
Like I said, Brian Daboll's just getting the best out of him, and he is just checking down, doing whatever he has to do to get things going. But I'm going to tell you, watch out for Kenny Golladay today.
Listen, come on. You say I'm on one.
No, look,
I've heard this so many times this week about people saying Kenny Golladay is going to have a big game versus us. I don't like that.
I've been waiting for 2 years for Golladay to have a big game.
Listen,
for the Giants.
If you're him, he has been humbled. Has he not been humbled? He was hurt early in the year. He's come back last week. I think was his first game back off his injury, that he's feeling good. Tell me he doesn't want to show out against this team. I'm just saying.
Wanting to and being able to are 2 completely different things.
He's
just
in a
putting it
tough
out
spot
there.
I want to be an NFL quarterback. I am not able to.
I got that, Stick. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised.
Especially after last week, Maz. I feel like he's still in that doghouse. I mean,
he dropped that wide open,
big drop,
and the whole stadium was all over him. The fans were screaming at him. He's going to get booed today. I don't think that's going to help his case to have a big game.
Maybe we'll see. Let's strap it on and let's go.
And it's not like they
strap them up. I meant
the Giants, and I'll tell you this: the Giants definitely need production out of a $16-17 million a year receiver. They just don't have it. So Golladay, you'd expect, at least in hindsight, he should have been playing. They need Golladay, but the production just hasn't been there. We're going to go to break. And when we come back, I want to go through some quotes by Aaron Glenn, get you some video, him talking about this defense, talking about the Lions being a young team. But we're going to go to break real quick. This is the Detroit Lions pregame show brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We'll see you in a bit.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG, and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Maddie Miller here with your Detroit Lions pregame report. The Lions are looking to extend their winning streak to 3 today in their Week 11 matchup with the New York Giants. A win today would be a second straight road win and only the second road win the Lions have had under Dan Campbell. The defense will be under immense pressure again today as they face another mobile quarterback in Daniel Jones and, of course, a stud running back, Saquon Barkley. The Lions defense will be without Josh Paschal and Charles Harris today due to injuries. They could see Malcolm Rodriguez return, however, he is still listed as questionable for today's game. The Lions will face Kayvon Thibodeau for the first time. He was considered to be one of the top options for Detroit with the number 2 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. So far this season, Detroit has proven to have made the right choice in Aiden Hutchinson as he has had a killer season so far. The Lions made a couple roster moves yesterday after it was announced that wide receiver Josh Reynolds would not play in today's game. DJ Chark was activated off of IR, Juju Hughes was waived, and Stanley Berryhill was elevated to the active roster. That's all I have for you right now. I'll keep you posted as more news comes in.
All right, we're back. There you go. You heard from Maddie Miller, our Detroit Lions beat reporter, and this is the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Maz, and Stick. And I want to run through, because what she hinted at and something she mentioned, which we're going to talk about right now, is the Lions without Josh Paschal, Charles Harris this week. 2 guys that played last week. Paschal, tweaked up in the middle of the game with an injury. Charles Harris played, but now he's out.
He's got a groin, and
yes,
Pascal's got a knee. Again.
Yeah. And again, those are 2 guys that when they play, they benefit Aiden. They help Aiden, and you see Aiden over the last couple weeks, him playing better and better. I do want to play the clip. This is for Aaron Glenn talking about how tough he has been on this defensive line so far. And you heard him right there. They're going to need it. And he's been tough on those guys. Obviously, this year, it's been up and down early in the year. Aiden Hutchinson had that big game against the Commanders. And then at times, Aiden, he struggled in games. He had that big game again against Dallas. And then over the last couple weeks, I've noticed Aiden just being more consistent. The game's slowing down for him, being able to read plays that you just wouldn't see from Aiden earlier in the year. Yep. I mean, for example, the big play, and speaking of Jeff Okudah, having that pick 6, you'd also give credit to Aiden for reading that tight end screen. Yep. But Booner, what are your expectations today for this Lions defensive line, and how important is it for them to get pressure not only on Daniel Jones, but to slow down, at least contain Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, I think you put it perfectly in the fact that with Paschal there the last couple weeks, it's changed the defensive line, getting pressure on the quarterback. It's opened up so many different things for a guy like Aiden Hutchinson to find success. And that just kind of all lingered into the secondary to where Okudah has that pick, different things like that to put pressure on the quarterback to make them make mistakes. I want to see today if the last couple of weeks from Aiden was because we had a full defensive line and guys were healthy and putting pressure on the quarterback and opening up those doors for him.
Yeah.
Or if he can do that today with other guys like Kaminsky and Brockers around him. I'm interested to see that because I think that the whole defense the last 2 weeks started from that defensive line, and that's why our secondary and guys like Okudah were performing so well, is that we were getting pressure on guys like Fields. I want to see them do that again today versus Daniel Jones to help out the secondary have a big game. Especially, you've said it before, that secondary or those receivers aren't that great. It's a game that the secondary can have a big game.
Right.
They can get more confidence going into another week 3, week 4, kind of building on what we've done the last 2 weeks.
Well, Brockers was inactive last week, so we got to see if he's going to be active this week. We'll know that in a few minutes here. But Paschal out again. It just, and I'll go back to it. He was drafted as an injured player, re-injured himself, got a sports hernia, was drafted with a knee injury, and I got to see this guy get healthy. Until he gets healthy, we're not going to really know how great that draft was. Hutchinson needs help. He was drafted 1-2 punch, right, with Paschal, with Jamison Williams stuck in the middle there. But you got to see something from this defensive line. Last week, the Bears, they don't run the ball as good as the Lions, except their best running back is their quarterback. The Giants, you got a pretty damn good running quarterback in Daniel Jones, and you got one of the best backs in football in Saquon Barkley. They got their work cut out for them, that front. Yeah. And they got to come up. The linebackers got to play. Is Rodrigo going to play today? Malcolm Rodriguez. Alex Anzalone last week led him in tackles. How's he going to play today? So the linebackers got to help out again today, like they did last week.
And on top of that, Stick, too, one guy that's kind of been resurging, at least last week, and someone that I've loved to see make plays, he made plays last year, is Julian Okwara, and he will be playing today. But, Stick, what are your thoughts? No Pascal, no Harris. How much pressure is on this defensive line to find success today against the Giants?
Same amount of pressure that's been on them all season. Same amount of pressure that's been on them all season. I mean, honestly, the defense is a struggle, so there's no more pressure on them today than there was the last 10 games that they played. They need to show up. That's been the biggest issue. How do you motivate these guys? Obviously, Hutchinson is the main guy. If he's out, then I'm a little concerned. Pascal's out. We've already played the whole damn year without Pascal. Other linebackers out, we don't really have a linebacking core, so I'm not really concerned about that. To me, if Okuda's out, if Joseph's out, and if Aiden Hutchinson's out, then I'll start Karen. Outside of that, everybody else is replaceable to me on this defense.
So, Stick, and this is a question for everyone, I guess. Obviously, the defense hasn't been we don't have a great defense, and we all know that.
Yep.
Going into this game here, the Giants haven't scored more than, 24, 27 points maybe once. They can't score. So does that mean what is our defense? They're going to probably hold them to 24 points. I think the game just comes down to our offense. Correct? I don't think this defense, they're going to give up points. I don't think that's a question. They're going to give up 24 points today.
Yeah, the offense outdoors in elements scares the hell out of me. You saw when they went to play the Patriots earlier in the season. That did not turn out well, a big fat goose egg. But that's also Bill Belichick. All hail Bill Belichick. So I'm not overly concerned about that. They did put up some points against Chicago last week on the road.
Everybody does.
But yeah, everybody does. I don't know. This is where we're caught with the Lions right now, right? We don't know what the hell they are. Are they what they've shown, the first 7 games of the season, or are they what they've shown the last 5 games of the season? It's really tough to tell. I think we're teetering on that. Are they a decent team, or are they just dog crap that we need to just tank for and get that better draft pick?
Right.
I'm rooting for them to be a decent team. I'm rooting for them to at least be in the conversation about playoffs. And we're 2 games out of the playoffs right now. I know that's drinking a lot of Kool-Aid, but it is what it is. The numbers are what they are. I'm not making stats up to make myself feel better. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of this Lions team. I know they try hard.
Yeah.
And with that, and now they're starting to believe in themselves, with that, make them success.
My thought on the defense, too, just kind of going off of that point, is they've played teams like Chicago who gives up a ton of points. The Panthers haven't been, they have had decent defenses, and they haven't been able to score more than 20. They haven't been able to put points up. I think our defense is going to come out, and I don't want to overreact and be like, hey, we hold them to 14 points. And then next week we're all like, oh, maybe the defense is coming together. I just think this defense could play bad, and they could still hold them down to 14
The
points.
defense has come together the past 3 games.
Has,
honestly, they haven't been horrible. And this is not awesome to say, but they haven't been the worst in the league over the past 3 weeks. And had they been that the entire season, the Lions would be sitting at least 500 or with a winning record right now because of the offense and what they did early on.
And I think the difference, too, is creating turnovers, right? That's been something that the Lions have not been able to do. Not only earlier in the year did you have a bad defense, you can't create turnovers. In the NFL, you got to be able to create turnovers defensively. And over the last 2 weeks, they've done that. But on top of that, we're talking about this defensive line and the Giants right now, and I did this last week for the Chicago Bears as well. The Giants are 7th in the NFL in sacks given up. They've given up 28 sacks on the year so far. The Lions, this is pretty impressive. They're bottom 4. They've only given up 15 so far in the year. So if we're talking about pass protection, the Giants are prone to giving up sacks, but it's harder to give up sacks when you're giving Saquon the ball. And that's what they've been doing. They gave it to him 35 times last week in a victory over the Texans.
I'm looking forward to seeing Kayvon Thibodeau a little today.
Me too.
I want to see what he's going to do and how he's progressing. Obviously, we know what Hutch has been doing. with the Jags. Trayvon, is it Trayvon Walker?
Yep,
Refresh my
Trayvon Walker.
memory.
Yep.
He hasn't been really out there. The first game he had an interception. Really hasn't done a heck of a lot since then. Those are the guys that I'm looking to compare Aiden Hutchinson with right now. It would be really great if he had his Robin to him being Batman, Josh Paschal, but he's not playing, and we'll get you the inactives here in just a few minutes. I'm interested to see if Malcolm Rodriguez is a go today. I haven't heard much about him during the week. I think they're going to need him. Got to contain Daniel Jones, and you could win this game. You definitely can.
Yeah, to be able to, again, and Braylon mentioned this on Friday. And
Vanilla Vic, right?
Vanilla Vic, indeed. That is what they call him. Saquon calls him that.
Best nickname in the league, by far. By far, best nickname in the league. Yeah, I love it.
No question. And again, I think that the key to victory for the Lions, at least early on, is to be able to put up points quickly. Because the Giants all year have been in these close games. They don't have to go away from their game plan. If you can shock them, score early, and make them, I know they're still going to run the football, but if you go up early and they kind of get away from it, they put the ball in Daniel Jones' hands. That stat this year on the Giants being one of the teams in the NFL that give up the least amount of turnovers, they barely turn the ball over. You might be able to find some success at that this week.
That changes a lot. If you go up early like 14-0, the Giants can't just sit there and run the ball 30 times with Saquon Barkley. They have to, like, Daniel Jones has to try and get out.
But they're a good fourth quarter team, too.
They really
are. Beginning of the year, they were winning at the end.
Yeah.
So they know how to win. They're well coached.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, too, because there's been some games, and I've bet on them a lot. I've taken them plus 6.5, and they're down 20 early, and then they just somehow don't give up any more points, and they just go score 4 straight touchdowns. Happens all the time with this Giants team. But I'm with Jeff on that. Get out early. And then there you can play the game to where they have to take the ball out of Barkley's hands because they're going to start running out of time. They can't play the same game, which, to Maz's point, they have been in this position multiple times this year. So it could help them out as well.
It's going to help to have DJ Chark back. It is. We haven't gotten anything out of him so far. Jared Goff, I hope they can get some type of connection going. Josh Reynolds and him were really good in the beginning of the season. Right. Reynolds went down, number 8. Remember, he got injured way back on an ankle injury.
The serpent of death.
Comes on back, couldn't get going. The tight ends. They really haven't used the tight ends since they traded Hockenson. Heck, they didn't use Hockenson. But they're only going to them certain places. But they got 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
Yeah, they're using them in the red
zone.
zone.
From the tight end. So I expect the tight ends to use here by the Lions and Jared Goff. You got to use it, man.
And for DJ Chark, too, the interesting point is even if he doesn't play well, just his presence on the field as a big play threat, it's going to make the defense at least respect him, whether he's productive or not. So, again, having DJ Chark there is key. They're going to hurt without Josh Reynolds, though. I mean, that connection between Jared and Reynolds has been key in a lot of these games, especially without Amon-Ra. But, again, the vocal point of this Giants defense this week, take Amon-Ra out of the game, which every team's tried to do it, and he keeps on finding success. But you can tell this Lions offense is heavily dependent on Amon-Ra St. Brown and the success he has. Last week, 10 catches.
Yeah,
and he showed out.
I said it last week, and I'll just say it every week. When this Lions offense is healthy, they're going to put points up, and they're going to find a way to score. And obviously, with Reynolds out, they're not fully healthy, but they still have DeAndre Swift back. They have Williams. Now they have DJ Chark. They have Amon-Ra. They're going to find ways to put points on the board. We've seen it now when guys are healthy. Like that Patriots game, we don't have Swift. Like there's different elements to the game that defenses, they have to go out. They have to figure out a game plan for Swift when he's in. Now he's in, it opens up the door for everyone else. I think DJ Chark probably has a pretty decent game today, a pretty big game, I would say.
Yeah, no question. And we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to go through the injury report and talk about all of it. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We'll see you after the break.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports 2 and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
at work, and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
We're back. Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network. Week 11, the Detroit Lions take on the New York Giants. And as usual, I am your host, Jeff Iafrate. Joined alongside me is Booner, and in the chair, Maz, and in the booth is Stick. And we're going to go through the inactive list. Those were just released. And Stick, you could throw those up. Currently, right now, we've kind of already covered it. Charles Harris out, Chase Lucas inactive, Nelson inactive, and then Pascal and Reynolds are also out. Again, these guys, I mean, I guess the most significant would have to be the 2 defensive linemen with Charles Harris and Josh Pascal. Yep. The offense, I think, is going to miss Josh Reynolds. But on top of that, we kind of talked about it before the break, and I see the chat talking a lot about it, is the quarterback conversation. Because Jared Goff this year has been up and down. I think at the beginning of the season, you're the quarterback of one of the most productive offenses in the NFL. And then there's the lows. There's the struggles from Jared Goff. But again, we expected this. Like for Jared, he is a bridge quarterback. He is a quarterback that's going to have good performances, bad performances, and somewhere along the middle. He isn't your long-term solution. I think we can all acknowledge that. But now that we have Stick, I want to ask this question again, and feel free to chime in the chat as well. As a Lions fan, as someone who also talks about the team, covers the team, would you rather, I'll give you 2 scenarios, the Lions make the wild card, or the Lions have a top 3 pick?
Wild card. Wild card, baby.
And this,
and why it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Wild card.
Give your thoughts on that, because we all mutually agree with you, by the way.
Me and Neil Rule have a philosophical difference when it comes to this. I believe winning contributes to more winning, especially when you have a young core like this. And I like to equate it back, Jeff, you'll appreciate this, back to the Pistons, right? When Blake Griffin was there, the roster's old. If you're going to the playoffs then and just getting knocked out in the first round, you're not growing. It's not really teaching you anything. Right. But when you have a young core like this, they need to know what that atmosphere is like. They need to know how to get game ready. They need to know how to get prepared. They need to know how to deal with the press. They need, there's just so much that goes into the playoffs that the Lions are so foreign of ever touching that these kids need it. And to me, winning breeds winning. You've seen it with this 2-game winning streak that the Lions are on right now. They're starting to believe in each other. Mm-hmm. They're starting to believe in the system. And we were talking to Braylon about it in the 103 Club, which is a podcast that we do here at WoodwardSports.com. And he talked about it when he was on the Jets and when they weren't supposed to be beating the Patriots, when they weren't supposed to be competing with the Colts. Once that locker room started to look at each other like, damn, dude, we could do this. We could do this. if we could actually win this, all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're in the AFC Championship game, and then now they're expected to be there. So that's why, like earlier when we were talking about that, I don't really know how to feel about this team. I feel like they're trending up, but I also understand what their record is at this point, too. And you are what your record says you are, but it's just nice that they're starting to believe, and you can see that. But so, yeah, I'm always about playoff wins. I'm always about wins, period. Winning breeds winning, period.
And on top of that, too, it's different, especially for the young guys, to approach preparation for the week, for your next opponent, knowing you can win, knowing the way you're preparing led to success, right? You win 2 straight. Now these guys, instead of losing 4 or 5 straight and having to practice all week and have to listen to the same thing and believe you can win, it's been proven the last 2 weeks. So
and just think about how disheartening it is for these. Like, I know we look at these players like, hey, they make millions of dollars, they're supposed to deal with the pressure, but imagine dedicating your whole life every week, your diet, your workout, your study, you're missing family time, you're doing all that stuff just to go get your head kicked in on Sunday. Yep. After a while, that's got to wear on you psychologically. So you need those little wins to just even keep your head in the game. Like, I couldn't imagine that. And what these guys go through on the field physically every Sunday, putting your body through that, like literally risking your life every Sunday only to lose and be called losers, like, to me, I have so much empathy for these players, but I also don't, because do your damn job also. So I'm caught in between, but man, psychologically, I just can't imagine living that life.
And especially imagine having playoff aspirations. Like you saw Derek Carr cry in the post-game interview. And he pretty much hit on all the points you just made of having what these guys go through, what these guys have to take medically just to be able to go to sleep, just to be able to get to practice, and it doesn't result in any wins. So again, I will always be on the side of contend for a wild card spot. I think that means that Dan Campbell's doing his job. You saw the last 2 weeks, there hasn't really been any decisions that you'd question Dan on. I mean, even going for it against the Bears, I think we all agreed when he went for it that it was the right move. It was your second time in the red zone. You settle for the field goal the first time. I had no problem. Even if and people say, well, it's easy to say you're okay with it if he gets it. No, even if he didn't get it the second time, I would still appreciate it. Like, hey, that's the right move rather than just settling for field goals all game. But I will always lead the way of contending for the wild card, Booner.
I'm the same way. And on my show this week, I had Jeff on, the Booner Sports Show, and we talked about this exact topic, about building a franchise that, building a franchise that gets used to winning. Like, you look at any sport, like the Warriors, all of these different teams, the Patriots, they're never in lose now mode. And even if they don't have their quarterback, Stick put it perfectly. You have to build a winning culture, and to do that, you have to win games. You have to go to a wild card game. You have to build that up. No matter how young your team is, if you have an opportunity to get to a playoffs and do that, you need to do that. Like, there's no question on, hey, let's lose these games and let's just tank to go get a quarterback. I don't see that as an option at all. Like, you're in the game to win. I want to see guys like Malcolm Rodriguez get confidence on defense to build a winning defense. Akuda, all of these different guys, you want to see them build that confidence to go win a game. That's what they're doing now, and that's what they need to do. If they have a chance to go to a wild card game, go and do that.
And I wanted to stick. Do you have the AG commenting on winning helps young teams?
Oh, of course
I do. I do want to go to that before we get Maz's opinion on that, because I think it summarizes what we're talking about. Here's AG talking about what it means for a young team to be winning. Got the inactives.
And there it is.
See, and that's, I think AG kind of hit on all the points we talked about there. But real quick, the inactives for the Giants just got released. Maz, what do we got?
Not a lot of big surprises. Evan Neal, we heard about him, the offensive tackle, will be out alongside Jack Anderson, who is their guard. David Sills, wide receiver. Austin Calitro, the inside linebacker. Daniel Bellinger, tight end. And outside linebacker, Quincy Roach. So not a lot of surprises.
But two starting offensive linemen.
Two starting offensive linemen. We kind of knew that going in, but they're definitely inactive right now.
Blitz!
So Lions got a shot. Listen, man. Unleash the beast today, by the way. Let DeAndre Swift run. Put him on the field and let him go. He's been they're weaning him in little by little. Remember, 3 plays, then 5 plays. I think last week he was in for 15 plays. But he's not getting the ball a lot. He's kind of almost like a decoy.
Right.
Remember when Amon-Ra St. Brown came back against the Patriots, I remember they used him literally as a decoy. So I'm hoping this guy is healthy. But as far as the Giants' offensive line goes, here's your chance, man, right? You got 2 linemen down for the Lions. They got 2 offensive linemen down. Maybe Aiden Hutchinson still gets to have a big game. Because, I thought he had his best game as a Lion last week, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do want to put up a stat, or pull up. I have a stat here for the defense for the Giants. You talked about giving the DeAndre Swift the ball more. An interesting stat that came up to me was the Giants have a 39% blitz rate, which is the highest in the NFL.
Yep.
So they're going to be looking to blitz on Jared Goff. They're going to be looking to bring pressure all of the time. I think that you talked about the strength of schedule, right? They're 30th in the league. I don't think they've gone up against an offensive line probably to almost the level as the Detroit Lions. I think that's going to be a huge game changer here. And he just talked about DeAndre Swift. Get him the ball more. If they're blitzing, that gives DeAndre Swift an opportunity for some screenplays. Just different things there. I love that by Maz.
And on top of that, just to add to your point about the Giants and how much they blitz, Jared Goff this year, 4 interceptions, all coming from blitz plays. Yeah. So this is a quarterback in Jared who you could talk about his pocket presence, but again, he's not the greatest in blitz scenarios. I think Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon, and those guys. Leonard Williams, is he out or is he back? Is he playing?
I'm not sure.
That's questionable. He was hurt early in the year, but if he's playing, then that's even going to be.
I don't see him on the list, but he might have been on IR. I'm not positive.
I'd have to double check that.
Yeah.
Either way, that Giants defensive line, man, even without Leonard Williams, they're finding ways. I mean, Wink is doing a great job with that defense, man. He's incredible. What they did to the Ravens early in the year, I mean, that has to put at least some fear in Lions fans' eyes.
It looks like Leonard Williams is playing today.
So, again, there you have it. This offensive line for the Detroit Lions, they're going to have a tough task today.
But that's your strength, right?
It is your strength.
Oh, don't start with me, Maz. Don't start with me.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Not today, buddy.
I'm just saying. That's your strength, and Jeff even said it. The 4th on the bottom from letting sacks in. They're protecting the quarterback. They're doing their job.
That's right.
Let it keep going,
We
man.
have an identity, and it's our offensive line. Thank God we drafted Penei Sewell.
There you go. Congratulations.
I love the Stick Maz rivalry. My first week I did the Sunday show, I was in the chair, and it was Stick and Maz, and I was just sitting there
They're bickering like an old couple.
I was like, I don't know if I should come. I don't know what's going on here. They were just going at it.
Stick's just a grouch because he's on 2 hours sleep.
Now, there's just certain things that drive me insane about Maz, and I know he takes some sick pleasure in some things, like Josh Paschal not playing.
I don't take pleasure in that.
Maz loves it. You love it.
I don't.
You love it.
No, I don't.
Yes,
I'm
you do.
a Lions fan.
I know you're a Lions fan, but you're also a Maz fan first, and you love being right.
Who don't love being right? I just don't like drafting injured players. I'm sorry.
I love this. We got them going.
I'm not going to argue with you. This is a good Sunday.
It's not an argument, but when he's talking about Josh Paschal, he's got this sly smile on his face, that's the second round pick not playing again. I mean, he's only played a couple games this season.
Just get on the field, man. All right? That's all.
No, and Stick, you should have heard Maz last week. I was bickering with him over the Baker Mayfield conversation.
And that's where he loses all credibility on evaluating quarterbacks.
It's okay.
You can't say Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback and then tell me that I got to take you serious about Jared Goff.
You'll see.
All right, we're going to go to break here. When we get back, we're going to be previewing the NFC North, go around, talk about the Bills playing the Browns at Ford Field.
I can't wait to go to that game.
Maz is going to that game.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. You'll tell me all about it. But before that, we're going to go to break. Thank you guys for tuning in. The Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by Swiss Insurance.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network. And guys, by the way, before we get into it, because we are joined, Booner Sports, we got our guy Maz Stick in the booth. Thank you all for tuning in on woodwardsports.com. And by the way, check out our merchandise. I just picked up a quarter zip the other day. I'm wearing that on Monday. Merchandise, articles, you could check it all out. Look at the merchandise. Woodward football.
I love these varsity hoodies, man.
It's absolutely beautiful. They have the Woodward basketball as well. Go check it out. Get some merchandise. But we're going to go through the slate of games in the NFC North. We're going to start, which Maz during the break brought something up interesting to me, that the Vikings are home underdogs against the Dallas Cowboys. And me and Adam talked about this on Friday. I picked the Cowboys to win, but that was before I saw the line. Now, if I'm a betting man, Booner,
yep,
the Vikings look a little more enticing than the Cowboys. Now, if I'm doing a strictly just pick 'em, I would probably lean Cowboys. But man,
why
home underdog?
Why? Why you think the Cowboys are better than the Vikings?
I just think they're as you know, last week win against the Packers. I just think they're a more complete team. Like they have game.
Packers beat them.
They lost against the Packers. That's
right.
what I mean. Yeah, like that game. Let's be honest here.
Luck. That was a lucky game.
Let's be honest here, Maz. Let's keep it 100. I mean, the turnovers by Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons was really a non-contributor. I think that changes this week.
Aaron Rodgers is trash.
And Aaron. I'm not going that far.
He's just trying to get under my skin.
But Booner, you see the home underdog does look enticing, doesn't it?
It does. And usually we've said it multiple times every week. You get basically 3 points on average at home. And they're still underdogs here by 2. So really they're 5-point underdogs if it's a neutral site.
Right.
It's interesting to me because you guys might like the Cowboys to win the game. I don't think this Cowboys team has proven enough to me to be road favorites, especially against an 8-1 team. They've beaten the Bears, they beat us, the Lions, they beat a bad Rams team, a Commanders team, a Giants team that we talked about. They're 7-2, but they don't have a great strength of schedule. So this Dallas team doesn't really entice me to be like, I believe they can win a game outright on the road versus an 8-1 Vikings team. If I'm going to get points with the Vikings, I'll take it. I told Maz before, on Monday night, first games, I always look at all the lines on Monday. Vikings were plus 2.5. I thought that was the biggest steal of the week, and now they're already at 1. And Matt said they probably will be a pick 'em by the time the game comes.
So here's the kicker on that game. Vegas knows, right? So we all know that. Those are the 2 words that you could take to the bank. So for them making the Cowboys the favorite, they want you to take the Vikings, obviously. So the Vikings will probably wind up losing this game if you're looking at it in that strategy. As far as team versus team, I think the Vikings are a better team. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, he's supposed to be playing, but what a controversy that is. Just take it, if you're the Cowboys. Would you rather start Ezekiel Elliott, or would you rather start Tony? Or would you rather start Tony Pollard? Yeah. They paid Elliott, but tell me they don't want to start Pollard and just let him go.
I think today they are. I know Elliott's coming back off the injury. I saw a report that said that he is going to get majority of the carries.
Well,
they're sticking with him right now.
At least now you have that injury excuse, right? Well, Zeke's banged up. We're going to lean more on Pollard. But I'm with you, Maz. Like, overall, if you look at production,
It's
yards
not
per
even
carry,
comparable.
it's not even comparable. I think a lot of it has to do with the stubbornness of Jerry Jones. Like, we paid this man, what is he making, $15 million a year as a running
Zeke
back.
ain't the same guy he was.
No, he's not.
He's just not even close to being what he was.
He really isn't. That backfield is still dangerous, even if they're splitting carries. And Dak Prescott, as inconsistent as he is, you could say the same thing about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This game could go either way. I'm going to go around the room.
Can we give a shout out to University of Memphis though for keep churning out these running backs? Antonio Gibson, Pollard. I love when universities that aren't traditional powerhouses just keep rushing in NFL athletes. Like, congratulations, Memphis, you're doing something right.
No question. I mean, Tony Pollard's he's a great running back. I think he has a bright future. But I want to go with the picks. I'll start. I'm going to say Cowboys win this game. And you brought up earlier, Booner, about the Cowboys beating opponents that are questionable. I mean, you could say the same, really. Besides, if you take out the Buffalo Bills win, which is hard because it's a big win against the Bills, and we know how that game went on the road. Yes, but besides that, you win by 3 against the Commanders. You win again. All these one-score games for the Vikings. I mean, we talk about the Giants. Well, they're winning all these one-score games. Something has to happen eventually.
Heineke pissed that game away. That was Washington's game.
Yeah, no question. I mean, before that, they have a one-score game to Miami, one-score game to Chicago, one-score game to the Saints, one-score game to the Lions.
But they win.
won. They do.
They're getting the job
That's
done.
the difference. And situationally, Kevin O'Connell this year, I mean, a guy who I think is another guy that's in the conversation for Coach of the Year, first-year head coach.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm going to go with my pick. I'll say Dallas wins this game. I'll say 28-24. I think Dallas pulls it off on the road. They cover.
They cover. I'm going Vikings here. I got my pick locked in at +2.5. I still like it at +1.5. And if you want to even go Vikings money line at +107 at home, that would be my pick today for this game. Vikings,
Both kickers are iffy. I mean, Greg Joseph stinks for the Vikings. I don't know how he has a job still. Brett Maher has good games and bad games. The line smells to me. Dallas is desperate for a win. They play Thanksgiving Day. They get a short week. They need this game. They get the Giants on Thanksgiving Day at home. I'm gonna go against the Vikings this time. I'm gonna take the Cowboys, but I bet you they don't cover. I bet you they win by 1. I bet you they miss an extra point, and they don't cover the game. How about that? I'll take the Vikings 1.5 and the Cowboys to win the game.
And before we go to Stick, I want to read this comment. WoodwardSports.com, the chat thread. Galloping Lake says, Goff and Cousins have the same amount of turnovers in the last 2.5 seasons. Interesting stat. But Stick, what do you think? Dallas taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Who
Love
you got?
me some Jared Goff. I hate the Cowboys. I hate that I was told they're America's team my entire life. I'm American. They ain't my team.
You carry a lot with you, Stick.
What's that?
You carry a lot of hate with you.
It's not hate. It's
baggage. You got a lot of baggage, man.
I don't need people telling me what's good or not.
Okay.
I know what I like. I
Let
don't
the
need to be
baggage
told
go.
this is America's team. They're not America's team.
I know, but just pick a winner, not because you like a team or not. Just pick a freaking
Listen,
winner.
not all of us can just root for front runners like you, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm a front runner. I'm a Giants, Jets, and Lions fan. That's a front runner.
How about the Yankees? You root for the Yankees?
Of course. They haven't won a World Series in 10 years.
That's right. But either way, I hate the Cowboys, but I got them in this because I believe the Vikings are probably the most fraudulent one-loss team that the NFL has ever seen. Like they've been so lucky, and the law of averages will definitely even out at the end. Some guys putting up a sticky note on the window. Appreciate that. Love being right here on Woodward and 15 Mile in downtown Birmingham. If you guys ever walk by the studio, knock on the window, say what's up. But either way, I definitely got to take the Cowboys to win this one outright.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you there.
So I'm the only one on the Vikings to win here.
That's how it's trending. We're moving on to the next game. The Chicago Bears take on the Atlanta Falcons. This is an opportunity, I think, another opportunity for Justin Fields to just absolutely go crazy. He's playing his hometown team. He's from Georgia, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are favored by 3 at home. I'm going to be honest with you. I smell a Bears victory here. I'm going with the Bears. They're going on the road to the Falcons. I know Arthur Smith doing a hell of a job this year. I think he's a fantastic coach. But something about Justin Fields I like a lot. I really do. I think he's the type of guy that can single-handedly propel that offense. I know defensively they have question marks, but if Atlanta showed us anything, they ain't got much offensively. I mean, it took the Lions to beat them in the last seconds. The Bears missed an extra point. Give me the Bears. They've shown they can put up points lately, Booner.
The Bears.
I'm on the Bears as well. I think they win the game. I think they win the game outright. They're 2.5-point dogs right now. I think they win this game. Usually the Falcons all year have been a team that just covers games, but I think that's more so you don't see them as a favorite. Now you see them as a favorite today versus the Bears. I think Justin Fields gets he's been he's been playing so well without winning games. I think this is a perfect game for him to have one of those 150-yard rushing games, 2 touchdowns, and they win the game today.
Hey, it's indoors. He should have a field day, literally. He should have a field day. Falcons are tough as they come, man. They're in every single game, but they're going to lose today. Bears will beat the Bears. They scored over 100 points the last 3 games combined. It's gotta pay off eventually.
Take the over.
I'll take the over in this game.
The over.
This should be the best bet of the day. I don't even know what the over is, and I'm taking it.
I love it. That's in my article today on WoodwardSports.com. I have Justin Fields rushing, him to score a touchdown, and the over in this game.
Get on it now, gang.
You know, I could certainly see it. I mean, the Falcons right now are one of the worst teams in the NFL, at least in their secondary. How many yards they give up through the air. Justin Fields hasn't shown us, at least this year, he can kill you, but at least they have that going for him, that the Falcons really can't cover anything. But Stick, Bears taking on the Falcons. Who do you got?
I got the Falcons, baby. Everybody's underestimated them all season long. Like, I thought they were going to be a 2-win team coming into this season. Love Drake London. You saw what our wide receivers did to the Bears last week. Indoors, this offense is better than I think we give them credit for. Kyle Pitts is coming on a little bit. Mariota he's not great, but he's a problem. He's a problem. We saw that in the preseason. I don't think the Bears defense, it's not about the Bears offense. Justin Fields is going to Justin Fields. He's going to have 150 yards rushing. Still don't trust that dude's arm, especially when it comes to crunch time. I mean, you saw he couldn't even get him into field goal range last week against arguably one of the worst defenses of all time. So I'm not heads and tails in love with Justin Fields like everybody else is, because as soon as they figure out how to stop this guy from running the ball, he's got nothing. He's got absolutely
It's 48.5, by the way.
Yep.
Bears are getting 2.5. I just did it over 48.5. And I just did a Bears and over 48.5 on a parlay.
I love it.
That's my pick.
You might
today.
as well add the Justin Fields rushing prop in there.
That's right. Might as well do that.
And just to go over real quick, the Titans, they took down the Packers this Thursday, 27-17.
Yeah, they did.
And listen, Mike
How
Vrabel,
bad did Aaron Rodgers look? Just over. He looked as bad as J.J. McCarthy.
and he was just, God.
He's struggling. I want to say that.
Stick really went there. No, but to your point, though, Stick, Aaron Rodgers, we saw him just as frustrated as he did 2 weeks ago against the Detroit Lions. I mean, it just seems like he's getting more and more frustrated every week.
It's just a bad
Packers
year.
are 4-7.
Just
a bad year.
It's
and this,
mess.
I have my own thoughts on it. I mean, to be honest with you,
Rodgers is done, dude.
This is why you be more aggressive for a 38-year-old quarterback to get him weapons. But what do I know? They thought Romeo Doubs, Allen Lazard, and Christian Watson, and the corpse
Watson's
of Randall
coming on
Cobb.
strong.
And the corpse of Randall Cobb is going to lead them to playoffs. I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Titans? How they've turned the season around? Like it's unbelievable what Mike Vrabel's done there. Like they lose AJ Brown, or they trade AJ Brown.
Yep.
And now they're finding a way to win. They started 0-2.
Question.
Everyone wrote them off.
Question for you guys: Tannehill or Goff? Who you taking?
I'm taking Jared Goff. I'll take Goff.
I would say based off accolades, you'd go Goff, but I do like what Tannehill brings with his legs.
He's got a little bit more of that. A little more of that oomph.
Yeah, a little more of that Vanilla Vic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a little more of that mobility. But they
both got smoking hot chicks.
That's a good comparison.
You know what? That's a good question to actually put in the poll. But
it is.
We're going to go to break soon. But honestly, I would say Goff, and I'm a little hesitant on that. I think they're both guys that you have temporarily. They're I guess you classify them as bridge quarterbacks.
See, I don't see that with Tannehill. I mean, like, Tannehill, when he came in with the Dolphins, he was showing flashes, and he just needed to fall into the right system. And obviously, the best friend of a quarterback is a running game. And when you have Derrick Henry that you can turn around and hand the ball off to,
right,
like you do. But Tannehill, man, I like Tannehill.
No, it's a tough question. I actually love that question a lot.
He wins. Tannehill wins. He hasn't won big in the playoffs yet, but the guy wins. They're one of the top AFC. They were the AFC's #1 seed last year.
That was without Derrick
and
Henry.
They've won 6 of 7 this year.
No question.
They do.
They should have beat the Chiefs.
More so though, like if you put Jared Goff in that position in Tennessee, are they probably still winning games though? They put Malik Willis in for a game and they won a game.
2
I
games.
know that's your guy, but
2 games.
He was in 2 games and they won a game and they went
he
to
threw a
overtime.
total of 10 passes in 2 games.
I was going to say, they attempted like 10 passes.
But they still almost beat the Chiefs in overtime and they won a game.
They did.
And they threw in Malik Willis.
They play hard for Vrabel. Vrabel's a phenomenal coach.
If you put Goff in that position, though, he probably does what Tannehill is doing, you would think. Like, they have Derrick Henry. Even without Derrick Henry, they play so hard. That defense is always so good.
You saw what Sean Payton said about Dan Campbell, that he could be the offensive Mike Vrabel. I thought that was a cool quote.
Well, we'll just start with getting winning seasons, because Mike Vrabel, my God, he hasn't had a losing season yet. He's one of the more underrated coaches, given what he has. No question. Imagine Vrabel. If you look at coaches, guys who haven't won a Super Bowl, I think Vrabel's the best coach. Guys who haven't won a Super Bowl. Because you have your John Harbaughs, you have all these great coaches. Pete
I
Carroll.
like John Harbaugh.
Out of the guys that haven't won a Super Bowl, I think Vrabel's probably the best coach. If you want to go Shanahan, that's fine, but Vrabel's a hell of a coach.
He's unproven.
And he's unproven, exactly. Yeah. So we're going to go to break. When we get back, we'll talk about more Lions taking on the New York Giants. Thank you guys for tuning in. The Detroit Lions pregame show, the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. See you in a bit.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the downtown Detroit markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The Bacon Blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins.
What is he at the Bills game? He's going to the Bills.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
We're back. Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Maz in the chair, and Stick in the booth. And alongside, we have a close friend of the network, Mr. Detroit, popped in here on the Birmingham in Lady Jane's. And guys, by the way, if you stop in at Birmingham, you see Lady Jane's, come and say hi to us. Like, we love interacting with the fans. If you're watching on WoodwardSports.com, thank you. Again, check out the articles, check out the merchandise, plenty of stuff on the website. But I do want to get into it again. I saw this on the prep that Maz added in. If the playoffs started today, Lions are in the hunt. And I know that's probably the most annoying thing for people who have been Lions fans for a long time, because it's like, who cares?
I just want to be on that graphic,
but
man.
you want to be on the graphic. That's the biggest thing to take away from it.
We all said at the beginning of the year, if we get to week 9, week 10,
yeah,
our goal is just that we want to turn on the Thursday night football.
Relevant
and
football.
We want to see you in the hunt.
Yes.
And we got that.
Hey, you want to know what else I want? Let's listen. Don't laugh, okay? If the Lions keep winning,
yeah,
they could be flexed into a game one of these Sunday nights. So I'm just saying.
I'm not laughing at you.
This ain't gonna happen. I'm just saying. Why the hell not one of these days that a Lions game gets flexed on to a national game? We only got one national game, and it happens to be Thanksgiving. We do have the number one Fox team again, back-to-back weeks. Last week at Green Bay against against the Bears, we had Kevin Burkhardt. We got Kevin Burkhardt again in that game in New York against the Giants. So we're starting to get a little action.
No, and imagine if you beat a 7-2 New York Giants football team. I mean, that's going to propel you not only, put the record aside, just national attention. Now people actually putting eyes. Okay, they're 3-0 the last 3 games. You got 2 on the road. They're making improvements. They're beating actually semi-relevant teams. I mean, you beat the Packers. They're not that good this season, but still, you beat Aaron Rodgers. It's worth talking about. But I see people chiming in the chat. I want to read out some of these comments. Crazy Clown says, playoffs. And then we got another one saying, I love this. Simo says, hell yeah, cheers to morning drinking. Denver. Simo also says, Jonathan Poulter says, Giants are going to destroy. Giants are the best. Go Giants. Got some Giants fans in the chat as well.
As a New York guy, imagine the flex game in about 4 or 5 weeks. We win a couple of games, and you get a New York Jets-Lions flex game.
Why the hell not?
I know you would love that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be
2
insane.
playoff teams going at it.
Robert Saleh.
Hey, Jets got to get by their hated rival today. Patriots have laid 13 straight wins on the Jets. Jets getting
That's
3.
not a rivalry then.
They're only getting 3.
That's just an ass whooping.
That's an ass whooping.
I know, but they're only getting 3. Boone. They're only getting 3 at Foxborough, man. I smell a rat in that game.
Oh, I do. Me and Adam talked about this as well. He's going with the Jets as an underdog. I'm sticking with the Patriots. I just don't see. And listen, Zach Wilson. I'm not the biggest Zach Wilson fan. I'm a Robert.
There's not many people that are.
I'm a Robert Saleh fan. I'm a Michael LaFleur fan. I like what they're doing in New York. But Zach Wilson, you're telling me he's going to go to Gillette and beat Bill Belichick? I get Mac Jones has been struggling, and honestly, Patriots fans aren't too high on Mac Jones.
They're calling for Bailey Zappi.
And I know that. I know they are.
And I see Abe in the chat here. I've had arguments with him the last 2 weeks
Abe's
about
in
the
there?
Jets.
Oh, boy.
And I've told him, I've tried to argue with him that Zach Wilson is not the guy for New York. And he sticks by it.
I'm with you, Abe. Give him time.
I just
He's
don't
coming.
see Zach Wilson doing anything special in New York.
What were they, undefeated with Joe Flacco in there earlier in the year?
Yeah, Flacco's like the emergency quarterback now.
With Breece Hall, they were great. Now they don't have Breece Hall. What are they going to do?
Boy, was he really? He was a hell of a rookie, man.
Speaking of the rookie race, and I thought this was interesting, and Maz put this on the prep sheet. Aiden Hutchinson not being on the Sports Illustrated Week 11 NFL rookie power rankings. No Hutch in sight. They listed, I believe it was 10 rookies. Do you have that graphic stick?
Putting it together. Hold on.
And I want to run through just the rankings, just to give you guys kind of some context here. This is per Sports Illustrated NFL on CBS. They have the number 1 rookie power ranking, and that's Sauce Gardner, which I don't think anybody's really going to dispute. You see it here on the screen if you're watching on WoodwardSports.com.
Martin Luther King's finest.
Number 2 is Drake London. Okay. Don't know if I agree with that one. I think he's had some good performances, but to be the number 2 rookie in the power ranking, I don't know about that one. Garrett Wilson's number 3. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
4 is Tariq Woolen, 5th-round draft pick. He's one of the league leaders in interceptions. I'm okay with that.
Their top 5 picks they start.
Yeah, and
the
they're making an
Seahawks'
impact.
top 5 picks start.
Schneider, I mean, he's one of the better general managers in the NFL. Number 6, Dameon Pierce. This is offense and defense.
He's
by the
a
way.
beast.
He's a beast.
He is.
That
He's been
guy
really good
cannot
this
be
year.
tackled to save his life. 7, Jack Jones from the Patriots. Okay, Jack Jones, that's a guy that I had on my mock draft before the draft. I think he was going to be a good corner. He's playing pretty well this year. Cater from the Dolphins. Okay, I haven't really seen a ton of him this year. Don't really have any insight on him. Abraham Lucas, tackle for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
Rookie starting. He's playing pretty well. And 10, obviously, Michigan State's own Kenneth Walker, which I ain't going to dispute that. If anything, I think he should be higher, to be honest with you.
I was going to say that, and if you do on this thing,
11
Aiden
and 12
Hutchinson is number 11,
Yeah.
and Kirby Joseph is number 12. They just had those 2 outside of the top 10.
Yep.
I could argue that Aiden Hutchinson could be top 5 on this list. He could be top 6. It's insane that, like you said, Drake London at number 2, he's been good, but you can even argue like Woolen could be up there. Like there's guys who can jump some of these other guys. It's a weird list, in my opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, I know there's no defensive lineman on the list, which is
No
kind of
Thibodeau
confusing.
either. You don't see Tibbs on there.
Well, listen, if we're talking defensive lineman, I think we can all agree Aiden out of all these,
Clearly
number 1.
He's so far number
He's
1.
been the most productive. I mean, he
Yes.
has 5.5 sacks on the season, has an interception. He's first in rookies, all the defensive linemen in quarterback pressures. I think he's tied for first in quarterback pressure, sacks. everything. So, again, for Aiden not to be in there, it is a little questionable. But, again, if you're winning, I guess that helps. But Dameon Pierce ain't winning, but he's playing well. So, again, I guess it just shows the national attention on the Detroit Lions. It really does.
One thing I love about this list, though, is there's 2 wide receivers at the top end of it, Chris Olave and obviously Drake London. And Jameson Williams supposed to be better than them both. And if those 2 are already translating into the NFL, I cannot wait to see what happens when this guy gets on the field. And Dan Campbell talked about that earlier this week, saying Jacksonville's probably when we're going to get our first look at some J-Mo, baby.
And that's a good question. Actually, if Jameson played this entire season, where would he be on that list?
Number 1!
Oh, God. Here, you know what, Stick? Honestly, I can't call you too crazy because this is a guy in James Williams who was the best receiver coming out. If he didn't get injured, he's the number 1 receiver taken off the board. I don't think anybody would dispute that. If that's the question. Because he is injured. He's dealing with that ACL. It was a clean tear.
See that smirk on Maz's face? See that smile?
Here we go.
He loves it.
You don't think I want Jameson Williams to be one of the best receivers in the NFL?
I know. Then why you got to throw in that if?
It's an if.
In the smirk.
It's an if. I just can't help it.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that smile. Look at that.
Is it because he's injured, Maz?
Yeah, he's an injured player.
And T. Foss has educated all of us on that, in that same share, about how the Lions historically have taken a ton of injured players.
They're always the smartest guy in the room. That's the problem.
You can't compare Jameson to a Jelani Tavai situation or something like that. Like, he was the consensus best wide receiver in this entire draft class.
Most productive, Maz. Those are the numbers.
That's awesome.
Those are the numbers.
I'm happy. I hope he's great.
Yeah, you're lying.
I want him to be great. Look at this guy.
I kind of like Maz to be on this side of it because, like, with the Baker situation, now we see where Baker's at. So we're all on the right side here with Jameson Williams. I'm sorry, Maz, but
it's okay. Don't be sorry. I want the Lions to win a Super Bowl.
Maz, if Baker was playing for the Lions, do you think J-Mo has a better season than he would with Goff? Or
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God. Right. Don't you got to get to a game downtown, Maz?
I do. But I'm having so much fun, I can't leave you.
No, I love it.
What the hell? I'm just going to go sit in traffic anyway.
And nobody can dispute, at least for Aiden, and Brad Holmes, his first-round picks the last 2 years, they've been productive. I mean, Penei Sewell, as much as we want to go back and forth about Micah or Penei, you can't argue Penei is a fantastic player and will be for the rest of his career.
He's phenomenal. He really is.
He loves Micah Parsons. He hates Penei Sewell.
He's great. Penei is awesome.
No, it doesn't take anything away.
I really appreciate Penei. Yeah, he's going to be terrific.
And it doesn't take away from anything Micah Parsons is doing.
No, it doesn't take. Not a stitch.
I can't believe, and I'm going to be honest with you, this isn't no hate at Marca, but why was he announced an XLT coming out of college, his first handful of games?
Because he just showed out. I mean,
but the next LT, Maz?
No one's LT. Nobody is LT.
There you go.
No one can consume that amount of cocaine and still perform on
All you had
Sundays
to do
like
is
LT.
all you had to do is when Bill Parcells wanted to get LT going, he just goes like this. You see that guy over there? He's got your cocaine. Go get him.
Hey, LT, take this bump and go get the quarterback. Rah!
Go get him.
No, and on top of that, Jameson is really the last one there in that first-round pick. You're waiting for him to play. He's expected to play probably at the home game, like you alluded to, Stick, against Jacksonville. Very excited. I think he brings an element to this offense. We talk about DJ Chark and what he can bring, even as a decoy. I think Jameson, just impact is going to be immense. Even with Jared Goff, him struggling to throw balls downfield, which that's my concern as well.
Yep.
I think Jameson's still going to find ways to make an impact.
We talked about it last year. I think someone brought it up on one of the shows this week. Some of those plays that were made last week in that game with the Bears, if Jameson Williams is in that position, he's taking those to the house. And even that's coming off of an injury. Just his skill set and how skilled he is, he's taking some of those just slant routes and he's taking off and he's scoring a touchdown. That makes your team so much better. Look at Minnesota when they got Justin Jefferson.
Oh, man.
That's going to be a similar situation to where we have a playmaker like a Justin Jefferson who's going to go in there. He can catch a 5-yard pass, and he could take one to the house for you any single second.
And a great receiver like that, Jameson, what he's expected to be a number 1 wide receiver, I'm telling you, it bodes well for any young quarterback you bring in. Hint, hint. If you possibly look at that next year.
And that offensive line.
It's a perfect situation.
It really is.
For any rookie
as
quarterback.
Good as it's going to get for a rookie quarterback to come in.
But would it be perfect for Malik Willis last year?
Who knows?
Number 2, take him at 2.
Right now, he doesn't look like the guy, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
I just want them to draft quarterbacks.
Yeah, and
they haven't drafted
it.
a quarterback since Matthew Stafford.
That's not true. They drafted Jake Rudolph. They drafted Kellen Moore.
God.
Oh, I forgot about those gems. Sorry.
You can't say they haven't when they did, though.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Let's sign Chase Daniel.
You act like I'm making up that they drafted quarterbacks. They actually drafted quarterbacks, bro.
Let's sign Chase Daniel.
Let them go
Even though
draft
Tua, Herbert, all of them are out there. Let's tell everybody we're not going to draft a quarterback by signing Chase Daniel. Let's do those moves. But that's old news.
I think we all can agree that the Patricia Quinn era are a bunch of idiots.
That's old
but
news.
Don't saddle Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Don't keep
with that.
busting my balls then about
Don't say they haven't drafted a
quarterbacks.
quarterback since Matthew Stafford when they have. I mean, we're here to tell the truth.
They haven't drafted a quarterback in the last 7 years. How's that? Does that make sense?
I'll have to double check.
Okay,
that.
give it a look.
You go ahead and fact check that.
Bill Belichick took the number 1 quarterback, and then he took Bailey Zappi in the 4th freaking round.
Here we go. We'll continue this conversation once we come back for break. Thank you guys for tuning in to WoodwardSports.com. Detroit Lions pregame show brought to you by Swiss Insurance. See you after the break.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
We're back. Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. I'm joined alongside, I'm Jeff Iafrate, Booner from Booner Sports, Maz in the chair, which Maz is actually heading to the Bills and Browns game today.
I
Sneak
am.
away, go check it out at Ford Field.
Can't wait to see him.
It's going to be great. And in the booth, we have our guy, the heart and soul of woodwardsports.com, and that's Stick. Sam Stick Day. But
Stick Day.
I do want to get into the NFL pick'em and go through the games this week. Maz is going to join us for this, which is great as usual. We do this every week. We're going to start with the Jets at the Patriots. And I kind of already alluded to it earlier. I'm going with the Patriots here. I get the streak that the Patriots are on, and eventually something has to give for the Jets. But I just don't see it. I think, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go with the Pats here. I think they cover the -3 at home.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think eventually this Jets team, we keep saying it actually, that this Jets team's going to fall off and something's going to happen, but this defense just keeps proving us wrong. I'm going to go with the Pats though. I think Belichick gets the best of the New York Jets. Yeah. I think he does it today. I think they win touchdown, 4 or 5 points. I think they easily cover this spread.
I got to go with the Pats too. 13 in a row. Jets on the road. Both teams coming off the bye though, but I'm not betting against Belichick off a bye. So I think the Jets' time is coming, but I don't think it's today. Pat should cover that 3, but I don't think it's going to be more than a 6-point game.
What about you, Stick?
Never bet against Belichick, period.
That's it right there. You heard it from him. We're going to move on. Panthers at the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is pretty much a question of will the Ravens cover. I think we all mutually agree the Ravens are going to win this one. Mark Andrews is playing. Have him on my fantasy team. He will be returning.
Mandrews.
So little slight of applause for me there. I'll have him back. But Booner, I'll start with you. You're the betting man. Do the Ravens cover that -13 at home against the Panthers? Baker starting, by the way. Matt, your guy.
This is a tough one. 13 points is a lot. Anytime I see a double-digit dog, though, in the NFL, I just take the dog. I'll go with the Panthers. I don't care how bad their team is. It's just we're in the NFL.
Yeah.
This isn't college football to where you can beat a team by 40. Everyone's going to show up every day. You might get 1 or 2 weeks in a year that they don't. I think you have a better chance today of going the Panthers, taking the 13. Maybe Baker will do something for Maz today. Who knows? But I'm going the Panthers.
Maz will have his jersey on.
13's a lot. Steve Wilkes got the Panthers at least being a little competitive here. He's trying to stay as a head coach. He was the Cardinals head coach. Didn't get much of a time there. Now he's got the interim head coach thanks to Matt Rule being fired. I think the Panthers covered the spread, but I want to ask you guys right now. I've got my survivor pool. I'm down to the last 6 players. I have the Ravens. I got the Bills in my pocket. Pick'em game. Who should I go with today?
Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm scared a little bit with the Bills. Everything going on, that's a scary. And I'm sure we'll get into that game here.
We'll go. All right, so I got the Ravens marked down now. I'm going to let ride with them?
Yeah.
All right.
I would do that as well.
I'll ride with them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the Bills, too, say what you want about Cleveland. Still a good team. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, if he's on, the team is as much talent as they have.
They're a playoff team if they had a quarterback from the get-go.
And we'll see. Deshaun Watson set to return facing Houston in his first game back. But what about you, Stick? You think the Ravens cover that -13?
Anytime the spread is over 9.5 points, you take the team that is getting the points. That's it. This is the NFL. One-score games run rampant. 9.5. I believe I saw a stat that 65% of the games are one-score games. So, I mean, you're just playing the odds at this point. A spread that big, you take the points.
Yeah, that's the difference in the NFL. I mean, the parity in the NFL, too. You talk about close games. We talked about the Vikings and Giants. Good coaching. They find ways to win those games.
Look at the Lions and the Giants today. The Giants are 7-1 in one-score games. The Lions are 2-7. That's the difference between good and great right now. That's it. What's that, Maz?
2-6.
Wow. What a difference, though. I mean, that's what it comes down to is coaching and situational football, and the Giants have proven to be better at that so far. Bills taking on the Browns at Ford Field.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess you call it a neutral field, but a lot of Bills fans are going to be there.
They sold it out.
They did sell it out. The Browns are +8 right now at Ford Field. Booner, I'll start with you, or I guess I'll give my pick quickly. I think the Bills win this one. But I could see a field goal game. I really could. I think this will be close, maybe even a touchdown game. But I'm going to lean the Bills here. I think they have to get it on track here. They have to get this thing back on track.
The Bills win the game. I think they do win the game. The situation you have there, Maz, it will be a close game, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
I just think with what's going on with the Bills, like the travel, the snow, I saw they said they've only practiced once this week.
Yeah.
They've had one practice. They had guys that were sick before the snow came, and then they had the snow come, and they haven't been able to practice. The Browns need to put something together. I think they compete today. Getting 8 points with the Browns seems like a steal at a neutral site with all this stuff going on. You have to take the Browns. You have to take the dog in this game.
The Browns lucked out in this game. Would you rather play outdoors in a couple of feet of snow? In 0 degrees, 10 degrees.
With no run game?
Or would you rather drive 2.5 hours up the Ohio Turnpike and come into Detroit? They might have even busted here for this game, but I like the Browns. This is almost like a home game for them. You'll see the dog pound. They'll represent today at Ford Field as well.
And again, the Browns, I think, if they went to Buffalo and faced them in that snow, the Browns are winning that game. 9 out of 10 times. They would have ran the ball down the Bills' throat. And if you look at even the Bills this entire season, they don't have a run game. They've never had a run game with Josh Allen. That's kind of been the knock on Sean McDermott. Their run game is Josh Allen and Singletary, which isn't a good – they traded for Naheem Hines. We'll see how much of an impact he has.
He hasn't done anything.
Exactly. So, again, that's the question. I think at Ford Field it benefits the Bills more because they can still – that passing attack actually benefits from being an indoor stadium.
I think the over-under at one point was 40.
Yeah, I saw it earlier in the week.
And now it's 48.5.
Yep.
It's 48.5 indoors. How about you, Stick? Who you like in that game?
Well, first of all, I love how the change in venue completely screwed Vegas because a lot of people were taking that under. Well, I guess it didn't screw Vegas or helping Vegas because a lot of people took that under, and then all of a sudden the venue changed. It's like, oh wait, it's not going to be Snowmageddon. The Browns are deceptively good for some reason. It's one of those teams I just don't understand why they're good, but they show out every day. But the Bills are the better team. I am worried about Josh Allen though. The amount of turnovers he's had in the past couple games, I mean, what they did against the Vikings last week was almost criminal, fumbling the ball into the end zone like that for the touchdown. Josh Allen's concerning me. That injury that he has is concerning me. It's the same one he had when he was a rookie and he had to take like 4 games off. He's going to need some time off, and the Bills better do it now before the playoffs come. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's the tough position they're in. It's not like they have a terrible backup either. Case Keenum, I mean, he's
terrific.
Well, yeah, manageable. He's good enough. He's probably one of the better backup quarterbacks.
Got to an NFC Championship game.
He did with Stephon Diggs. Yeah. So there's that chemistry already. But I agree with you, Stick. I'm worried about Josh Allen, not just because he's on my fantasy team. I promise. There's no.
I traded him this week on my fantasy team.
You did?
I bailed.
You traded Josh Allen?
I traded Josh Allen.
Wow. You might have
for Lamar Jackson and Delvin Cook.
That's a good trade.
That's a terrific trade.
Yeah.
Who you fleece?
Bang,
Who'd you fleece?
Some dude from this random league.
That's a W trade. That's a W trade. We'll move on. The Saints take on the Eagles, the Rams, take on the Eagles. They're at New Orleans, and the Saints are -3. And this is without Cooper Kupp. He's out 6 to 8 weeks.
He's done for the year.
I was gonna say he's done. Yeah. Like you're not bringing Cooper Kupp back. It's just idiotic.
They're not making the playoffs.
My fantasy team is down the drain.
Matthew Stafford's back from concussion protocol. They still can't protect him. They can't run the ball. Cam Akers been a disappointment. They just can't run the ball at all. And I think the Saints win this game. I really do. Say what you want about the Red Rifle and Andy Dalton, but I think he's good enough to get the job done here. And the Rams' defense just hasn't been playing up to its potential, so I'm concerned. They're on the road. Give me the Saints. They covered the 3.
Yeah, I put the Saints. I have a no-bet list, and I put the Saints with Andy Dalton on that list, except this week, I just don't see a way the Rams can stay in this game. I don't know what it is. I just think the Saints – this Rams team has been so bad the last couple weeks, even without Cooper Kupp, without Stafford, even with him coming back.
The Cardinals made them look bad in L.A.
It is a bad football team right now. Like they're in trouble in L.A. right now, and the Saints are as well. But I think the Saints at home, you have to take them. 3 points, I'll take it all day.
I'm just going to take the Super Bowl champs in this game. They got to have a little pride. Stafford's playing. There are other guys, Tyler Higbee. Maybe Allen Robinson has his first good game as a Ram. I have no idea.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's, what's up?
Van Jefferson. There are other guys.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's, what's
up? Ben Skoranek. I mean, he could be the next Tom Kennedy. Who the hell knows? Give me the Rams. I'm not betting the Saints. I want to bet the Saints with your money, Stick. Give me the Rams.
Maz loves these little like low-key white receivers like Tom Kennedy.
I love Tom Kennedy.
He's just like
I would start Tom Kennedy on my team.
He's scrappy. Yeah, Tom
Kennedy and Baker Mayfield, we'd be undefeated in
Detroit
right now.
Baker to Kennedy,
Oh, no question.
Top of the line.
No question. We'll move on here.
Wait.
Hey, give your pick.
You see the smile? This is the smile of the Rams absolutely turning into a dumpster fire.
Let's go.
I absolutely love it. I will never pick the Rams to win. We get their pick. That's the best thing.
It's trending well.
Like you said, Stafford's coming back. Who cares? They're getting the Lions Matthew Stafford now, not the guy he was last year. I absolutely love it. Like, the Rams pick is going to be better than the Lions pick this year. It's going to be phenomenal.
I hope you're right.
They're going to lose another game. They have no running game. Cam Akers has become the ghost of Cam Akers. Nobody even wants him around the NFL. They have nobody to hand the ball off to. They have no offensive line. They have no cap relief coming. They have no draft picks coming. Like, the Rams... I would sell out like they did for a Super Bowl, and because we've never had one here in Detroit. But no, goodbye Rams. Let's go Saints.
And I love this comment, Rich Diana. Rams tied for worst start by a Super Bowl champ ever, going for the record.
Yep.
And talk about a hangover.
It was the Steelers of 06 that were the other team that failed miserably. So they tied the Steelers.
In this Rams team, it seems like it's not a talent issue defensively. They have talent on defense. they're just not executing. And on top of that, they lost Whitworth, and it seems like everything. He was kind of the last pin.
They lost
for them
their
on
heart.
offense.
Their heart is gone. They got nothing left.
Yeah, they really don't.
I'll still take them today, though.
Of course you would, Maz. No, we're all going against you. We'll all lean Saints here. Moving on, Eagles facing the Colts. Nick Sirianni taking on his former team, Jeff Saturday. Which, listen, as much flack as he got.
That Sticks guy.
I'm happy for Saturday. Steak, I know you are too.
I love when people buck the system, man. And, like, how much crying went around from the NFL. Like, little crybaby Joe Thomas, little Ryan Clark on ESPN. Like, if it was me, this wouldn't have happened. It's like, now this guy's already got a W under his belt. And we were talking about it before. Like, the fact that Joe Thomas complained about somebody getting a job who never had that position before. Hey, Joe Thomas, you would never be on as an analyst if you weren't a football player. You know how many people work hard in broadcasting school to get that job that you leaped over? Sorry, buddy, it's the same situation. You didn't go to some podunk market and work your way up. You made it right to the big leagues because you were a player, just like Jeff Saturday did. Shut up, let the man coach. And I love the fact that he's unleashed Jonathan Taylor again. Like, what do you expect an offensive lineman to do? Run the damn ball.
Right.
Love it.
It seems like being an elite player in the NFL gives you opportunities. And Joe Thomas, happened for him. It happened for Jeff Saturday.
It's almost like if you know somebody in power, you get a better look. Like, oh my God. It's almost like if your dad owns a gas station, you may wind up running that gas station. Like, it's not just football, it's life. Get used to it.
Right. Yeah, no question. And before, I do want to get to everyone's picks for the game, but we're going to go to break real quick. When you come back, we'll finish up the pick-ems in the NFL on the slate of games. But before we do, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Woodward Sports pregame show.
Are we
Detroit
saying bye to
Lions,
Maz?
New York Giants. Maz, you staying with us? Or you got to head out?
I better go.
All right.
I'll see you guys. I'll be at the game. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Lions.
Maz will be down at Ford Field. Go see him if you're going down there.
Do you have a Lions prediction?
I do.
Give us your prediction right now before you leave.
I got the Giants nipping them 24-20.
Ooh, close game.
Giants 24, Lions 20.
Many would agree with you. Many will agree with it.
We'll see.
We'll be right back. Woodward Sports pregame show, Detroit Lions, brought to you by Swiss Insurance. See you after the break.
Thanksgiving is all about family and friends. That's why Woodward Sports wants to send you and your crew front row for the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Easy there. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
That's right, you and 3 people that you're thankful for sitting in row number 1. So close you can hear the action, smell the excitement, and taste the glory of Detroit football. All you have to do to enter is retweet or share our post on Twitter and IG and tag 3 of your friends or family. If all 3 of those people are following Woodward Sports too, and we pick your name, you and your crew will all get the best seats inside Ford Field. So hop on Twitter and Instagram and tag your crew. And we'll see you Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Brought to you by Lady Jane's and Custom Health Centers.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the downtown Detroit markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Welcome back. Detroit Lions pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, woodwardsports.com. Check it out. Articles, great merchandise. I am Jeff Iafrate, joined alongside Booner, and in the chair, who is in the studio watching, by the way, Michael, a.k.a. Mr. Detroit, big fan of the network, and a great guy, man. How are you doing, by the way? It's your first time sitting in.
Doing great, guys. Thanks for having me. Let's go Lions.
We're going to get Michael's picks on the games, rest of the NFL slate. We'll do his Lions and Giants predictions in the booth. Sam Stick Day, the heart and soul of Woodward Sports Network. But we're going to wrap it up here. I kind of hinted at it before we went to break last segment. Eagles at the Colts. Again, Jeff Saturday, second game. He's 1-0 as a head coach. It seems like Jonathan Taylor, he's back. He's finding his rhythm. My fantasy team appreciates that. But on top of that, the Eagles coming off a really ugly loss. Like a loss that really, looking at the stat sheet, turnovers. Like that was the reason why they lost, and their defense couldn't get off the field. The Commanders kind of just slowly killed them with the run game. They're looking to bounce back this week. The Colts are +7 at home right now. I mean, this line's telling me Eagles bounce back, Booner.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's moved to 6.5. It's me and you, Jeff. We've talked a lot. Football lines. When you can get 6.5 and get a straight touchdown, I love that. I'm sorry, Stick. I'm going against your Colts. I'm going against the Colts, Jeff Saturday.
Not Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, he's not going to. The first week was great. Great win for them. First win. He's not going to do it versus the Eagles. This is a different football team than he played last week.
Yeah.
They're going to win this game. They might win this game by 2 touchdowns. A bounce-back week. The Eagles need to have a bounce. They don't need it, but they want it. Like their season, they started undefeated. A terrible loss last week. They're going to have to bounce back, and I think they do in a huge way.
And I think it's better for teams, and everyone was talking about undefeated. I think it benefits them more to lose. Now that it's almost like a wake-up call for them. They go out and sign.
Especially in the game they lost.
They signed Joseph and Sue, 2 defensive tackles to help stout that run game, improve those guys in the defensive line.
And they are active today.
And they are active today. Sue will be playing.
Love that he's back in the league, man.
I know. I love Sue. My God. If the Lions were winning, that would be a guy I'd make the phone call to. But it's not the case this year. On top of that, Sirianni goes back to Indianapolis, takes on his former team. He was the OC for the Colts before he was hired to be the head coach of the Eagles. I'm going to give my prediction. I'll go to Michael. I'm going to say the Eagles get a bounce-back win here. I do think it's close. Saturday keeps it close. But, Michael, I got the Eagles winning here.
Yeah, for sure. I got Sirianni, facing his former team and looking to kind of bounce back from last week's loss. I actually have a lot of family in Philadelphia, and they actually weren't too mad about the loss. They felt like the Eagles maybe needed a little bit of a tune-up and an awakening because maybe their record wasn't quite reflective of the competition and how good they were. I look for the Eagles to go in and look for a lot of trick plays today. I think they're going to try and mix it up and really try and take the top off the defense. I'm with you. Give them the Eagles by 2 touchdowns plus.
Ooh, I like it.
Before Stick, real quick, touchdown prop, Miles Sanders to score a touchdown. Hammer that one. I think he gets one today. He gets in the end zone.
Talk to me, man. I like it. I think Sanders has a bounce-back game, too. They couldn't really run the ball. The time of possession last week, you look at the box score, I mean, the Commanders completely dominated time of possession. It was really close.
They didn't go at Miles Sanders at all, and then all of a sudden they just decided, hey, let's just start running with him. And their offense started picking back up. So I think that they realized that, and he's going to have a big game.
Kenneth Gainwell, another Memphis running back, by the way.
Man.
Another one.
Another one.
What do you think, Stick? Saturday, I'm assuming, are you rolling with your guy today?
You know what? This is a heart pick, yeah. I mean, the Eagles are the better team, but once again, we started talking about the Lions. Once the team starts to believe, and you got an offensive line, which was the top 3 in the league, that kind of they stopped using them and tried to pass the ball too much. Now you got Jonathan Taylor back. Running game translates no matter where you play on the planet, in the universe. So, yeah, give me Jeff Saturday to go undefeated the rest of his life.
Imagine that, by the way, Dude, Saturday.
I just want him to do so good so he'll shut... I hope this just brings in a new era of, because I love what Irsay said. He doesn't have all these bad habits that all these coaches coming up in the ranks have.
He's fearless.
Yeah,
fearless.
He's got a new I just love it. Anytime you change the system in anything, I absolutely love it.
Watch, next we'll see Dan Orlovsky as a head coach.
Why not? Crazy. Who cares? If he wins, he wins. If he doesn't, he gets fired just like every other coach in a year. Did you see that? When Matt Patricia was hired, 6 of those head coaches hired that year are already gone. The only one left is Vrabel.
Just a cycle.
They would be crazy if Jeff Saturday came out and he just takes the Colts to another level and they hire him in the offseason full time and he just ends up being like that next guy in Indy. That would be unbelievable.
I love this comment. WoodwardSports.com. Eric Allen says, if they win today, just call him Jeff Sunday. Honestly, at this point,
There we go.
I'm cool with that. Moving on. Bengals at Steelers.
Yep.
Oof. Well, listen, I'll tell you this. Talk about great head coaches in the league. We can all pretty much say Mike Tomlin's up there. At home as well. They're giving the Bengals, they're minus 3.5 here. And with Kenny Pickett, he's a turnover machine. At least this year he's proven to be. I'm going to lean the Bengals here, but the question is, do they cover? I can see the Steelers keeping this game close, considering that the Bengals this year with their offensive line, they've been exposed at times. T.J. Watt will be playing. I think Fitzpatrick's still out. I have to update that. I have to see the injury report, but still, I'm going to go with the Bengals even without Jamar Chase, but I do think the Steelers keep this close. I can see the Steelers covering, but the Bengals still winning.
Yeah, I think the Steelers will cover. 3.5, it's a field goal game. I think the Bengals, without Jamar Chase, we saw the other week versus the Panthers, they had a huge game, but they also lost the week before that. So I think it's like such an iffy situation on how they look without a Jamar Chase. They still have weapons.
Right.
I just think, like you said, Mike Tomlin at home, he always finds a way to stay in the game. I think Kenny Pickett will have a decent game. George Pickens is like his guy now. I think he has a big game as well. That's just one thing is Deontay Johnson, he's been good, but Kenny Pickett has been just going at Pickens, and he loves to throw to him. Like, he loves him. I think that's going to be a huge duo kind of in the next couple of years in the NFL. But I like the Steelers, plus 3.5, field goal game. They might even win the game somehow.
Yeah. So you're going Bengals win, Steelers cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the same
page. If you want to sprinkle a little bit on the Steelers' money line, I don't hate that.
At home.
I don't hate
at home.
At home, Mike Tomlin, I don't hate it.
Yeah, never count him out, especially as the underdog. Michael, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think Burrow and company are kind of due for a big game. I think we've been kind of waiting for them to kind of go back into form of that Super Bowl team. Granted, I think that was a bit of an anomaly. I'm not sure what the weather is out there for the game today. I think that's kind of an interesting note to put there. But, I like the Steelers at home because of their grit and everything, but something tells me this is going to be Joe Burrow's game. So I'm going to take the money line and obviously the points there for the Bengals.
I love that. It's cold today. It's a real feel of 17 degrees in Pittsburgh today. But the Steelers know how to play in that weather. They're used to it. Mike Tomlin knows how to get those guys ready to play in the cold.
And the Steelers beat them earlier in the year. I mean, they beat them 23-20 in OT, so we'll see.
Yeah, no doubt. I think with Mixon as the running back he's playing, right? No injury there. I think, in the cold there, that's just going to help out Burrow, the play action there. I don't know if Pickett and company can respond to some of the, haymakers that Burrow's capable of throwing alongside Mixon. So I look for the Bengals to get out to an early lead, Steelers kind of catching up to make it a game, and then eventually you'll see the Bengals pull away in the fourth quarter.
Oh, we're on the same page there. What about you, Stick? What do you think?
Can't count against Joey Burrow, baby. I love that guy, man.
Joey Burr?
He's the guy. He's the guy. He's Joey Ice, man. He shows up looking like a pimp, and he shows out on the field. Like, if you're going to dress like that, you better be damn good. And he's damn good. So, yeah, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, Joey B, man. Never go against Joey B. Moving on, we have the Chiefs at the Chargers. Chiefs deal with a lot of injuries. Same with the Chargers. Yep. I mean, the Chargers have been dealing with injuries all year.
Kadarius Toney!
It is trending that way. It sounds like Kadarius Toney is going to be heavily involved in the game plan today. They're without Juju. McCole Hardman's on IR. They're dealing with some injuries offensively, but I do have confidence. If we're talking strictly, I mean, you look at earlier in the year, the Chiefs beat the Chargers, but it was close, very close. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here simply because I believe in Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's the difference maker. But again, the Chargers, they're at home, which call it whatever you want to call it. I don't think the Chargers at home is a big home field advantage. But it is what it is. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. The Chargers are they're +6 right now. I can see them covering as well. I can see this game being super close. They still don't have Joey Bosa. They don't have Rashawn Slater. Give me the Chiefs, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not the most confident in that pick, Booner.
I'm not on the Chiefs today. I'm big on the Chargers tonight. I think that they're going to get, I believe, Gerald Everett, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen all back.
Yeah.
They're all questionable, but they're all supposed to be playing. So I think this is a game to where you start to see the Chargers turn things around a little bit, especially versus a team like the Chiefs, to where they're going to put up a fight tonight. This is a divisional game where they're going to be like, they need to make a little bit of a statement here. They lost to him earlier in the year. I know they're coming off injuries, but like a guy like Keenan Allen, they've held him out so long, they're not going to bring him back if he's not ready to go.
Right.
So he's going to be ready to play tonight. Same, I think, with Mike Williams and Gerald Everett. I love the Chargers tonight. Plus 6, was it? I saw 5.5, 6.
Yeah.
And I might go with sprinkle on money line there as well. I love dogs today. I love the dogs.
Yeah, Chargers are getting healthier. They're trending in the right direction. What about you, Michael? What do you think? Chiefs and Chargers.
I think the Chargers probably find their mojo and their identity a little bit more today. But, man, it's hard to go against Mahomes' magic. I think he finds Kelsey quite a bit there in the fourth quarter, and they pull away. Preseason, I had Eagles, Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That was who I liked. I'm going to stick with that. I think the Chiefs ride today.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Chiefs, I mean, you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. He's finally bounced back from like that year and a half of who the hell is this guy type quarterback play. He did not look like the same Patrick Mahomes after that Super Bowl loss. But I think he got his swagger back.
He did indeed. I think we'd all kind of mutually agree too. I mean, we talk about the NFL being mostly just situational football. Who do you trust, Andy Reid or Brandon Staley? I think we kind of have that answer already. Give me Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes with Travis Kelce. We have 2 more games. I do want to just throw those. I mean, listen, the Raiders and Broncos, Commanders and Texans. Instead of covering those games, I want to get right to the Lions. Yep. I do want to talk about the Lions taking on the New York Giants, going to MetLife. I saw a comment earlier in the chat, and forgive me for not mentioning the name, but I thought it was hilarious. Kenny Galladay. To have a touchdown.
Jesse
Adams. And DNC was well. Kenny G anytime touchdown plus 800. My God. Naz, if he was here, he'd be defending that. It ain't happening, I'll tell you that. But the Giants, this one I've struggled with because Friday on the show I picked the Lions. Saturday I sent my text to Maddie. I picked the Lions on Friday. I picked the Giants on Saturday. I'm flopping back and forth here, but it's hard for me to confidently pick the Lions at MetLife. I mean, this Giants team has just been so disciplined. They're good situationally. They don't turn the ball over. They're good in the red zone. They're good on defense in the red zone. They check every single box for a good team. Although you don't want to believe it, and I get talent-wise, besides Saquon on offense, you don't see a ton of studs. But they've been playing good, Booner, and they're a good football team. In my opinion, I could see this game, the Lions, both teams are going to run the football. It's going to be low scoring, time of possession. It's really going to be about who turns the ball over. And historically on the season, it's been the Lions. I mean, the Giants have taken care of that football. But if this Lions defense can create turnovers like they have been, it gives them the best chance. So the Lions, their game plan today, go up early, score points, and make the Giants get out of what they do best, right? Yeah. Run the football. If you can allow or force Daniel Jones to sit in the pocket and beat you, that's going to change the tide of the game. I'm going to go, man. I'm going to go Giants. I'm going to go Giants here, 27-23. I think the Giants win. I think the Lions stay in it for a majority of the game, but that fourth quarter, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 plays. I just think the Giants can make rather than the Lions. What say you, Booner?
Yeah, I think we're thinking in the same direction here, kind of in the same way, to where, to me, this defense, our defense is going to be the biggest point of here. Can they put pressure on Daniel Jones? Can they stop Saquon? And can they,
which no one has been able to do that.
And they have, 100%. And can they get turnovers? I think it kind of, if you flip it to the other side, the Lions offense, if they score more than 24 points today, they win this game. The Giants can't score points, and I think this offense, even with Josh Reynolds out, it's basically a full offense outside of that. DeAndre Swift has been back. I've said it for weeks. I think this offense, when they're full, that they're a team that's going to put up 24 plus points every single week when they have a full offense. Like the Patriots game, they scored 0. What did they have? They made bad decisions, and they didn't have a guy like DeAndre Swift to help. So I think this week I'm going to end up going with the Lions today, 27-24. I think they get out in front pretty early, and I think we see a late comeback as we've seen all year with the Giants. They try and come back, and they just fall short, and they get to 24. They kick a field goal at the end, try and get it, and then they just can't get a stop at the end. We get a first down.
Oh my God! You just laid out the whole fourth quarter for me?
And we take a knee and we win the game.
Man.
And we go on a 3-game win streak there. First time since 2017 was it?
Yes, yeah. 3 back-to-back road wins. Something we haven't seen Dan Campbell do in his entire tenure. What are you feeling, Michael?
Yeah, it's hard to follow up Swami there, but I think what you're going to see in this game, it's going to come down to a couple things. I think both teams, they have their identity, right? Power heavy running. Saquon's the best back in the league this year. I think you're going to actually see one of the two teams, and I think it's probably going to be the Giants, divert away from their identity to go against a game plan. I think that you'll see Saquon featured heavily in the beginning to really set up that play-action pass. And give Daniel Jones a little bit of credit. He's capable of those pocket rollouts and kind of going for a 50-yard run. Yep. And we know the Lions have a little bit difficult with mobile quarterbacks. So, overall, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with the Giants 30-17.
What about you, Stick?
You know where I'm going.
I know exactly
the
where you're
Lions,
going.
baby. The Lions got this bad boy. Daniel Jones, I think last week prepared them for Daniel Jones. He's not Justin Fields when it comes to running the ball, so I think they learned how not to over-pursue when you're rushing from the defensive line. That's what I really liked about the game plan last week, is like Aiden Hutchinson would push up the field, but he wouldn't go beyond the quarterback and give him those rushing lanes. Outside that one huge run that he had, I thought they did a pretty good job. And then you get a guy like Daniel Jones, they're going to be able to shut him down, stack 8 in the box, make Daniel Jones beat you, and just attack. I want to see Dan Campbell just sending everybody for those kneecaps.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Giants are one of the worst teams in the NFL in big plays.
Attack!
They just don't have the guys. I mean, you talked about it. Slayton's their leading receiver, then it's Saquon. So this is the worst wide receiver core they face. I do think it's a coin flip, even on the road. Maybe you say 60-40. 60-40, maybe you give them the Giants a home field advantage, but besides that, it's going to be a tough one. But again, I'll read the stat, and this is what's making me lean Giants. 8 one-score games for the Giants. They've won 7 of them.
You can't keep winning those one-score games.
That's
eventually
the longer a streak goes, the closer it is to coming to an end.
Eventually they'll give. That's why they might not win 10 games this season.
Taking the hopium, right? Everyone's telling me the Lions fans' perspective, but the reality is the NFL's close games. The Lions are, 2-6 in close games? So what are we doing here? Giants, they got better coaching. We'll see how it plays out. They're at home. I think I'm going to slightly lean the Giants there. But thank you to everybody for tuning into the Woodward Sports pregame show. Detroit Lions Week 11. They take on the Giants. We will be back on Thursday when the Lions take on the Bills on Thanksgiving. But until then, thank you all for tuning in. By the way, woodwardsports.com. Check it all out. Articles, merchandise, everything.
I got all my bets up there right now.
Booner has his bets up there.
Player props, touchdowns. Go check it out.
They have it all. And for me, Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Michael for filling in the chair. Shout out to him, by the way, and then Stick in the booth. We'll see you guys on Thursday next week on the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show.
Week 11 in the National Football League. We are making the cut here at Lady Jane's World Headquarters in Birmingham, Michigan. Checking in with fans about those Detroit Lions. All right, we are in the chair here with Sean. Sean, you getting taken care of here, Lady Jane's?
Yes, great.
That's the main thing, right? Good job, great job. Hey, I want to ask you about the Lions. They haven't won 3 in a row since 2017. Can they get it done on Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that.
I don't see why not.
Positivity. It feels good.
I think
to
the
win.
Giants are a bit of a fraud. They're 7-2, having a good year, but I think the Lions can beat them. They got to stop Galladay, though. You know, Galladay's going to go nuts because it is the Lions.
Yeah, right. Watch the one game that Galladay does something against this.
It's the same old Lions, right? So, no, I think they can win one.
Got my main man Adam here in the chair. Adam, lots of optimism now after a couple of wins for the Lions. What do you feel about it, and are they alive for a playoff run?
Optimism's good. I can't go wrong with optimism, and I think they do have a chance for a playoff.
In the hunt. All right, Patrick. I interviewed 2 Lions fans earlier today. They are optimistic, think they can get that 3rd win in a row here against the Giants. How do you feel about it?
I'd say they cover the spread, but come up short.
Oh, we had to end on a bad one. It's Thanksgiving. All right, enjoy your haircut, my man.